All right, here we go. Okay, so on the subject of time management, I remember there was a day when my sweetheart and I were getting ready to do just a massive cleaning job, right? Not like an actual job like company or anything, but like we were trying to just clean our environment as best as possible. And I remember coming across this quote that I believe Elon Musk said. And he was like, you can clean a house in 4 days, or you can clean a house in 4 hours. Now, I don't know how realistic 4 hours is, but I do know that the pursuit of trying to tackle something in a fraction of the time gets you much further along where you're headed in the process in less time, right? So, on the subject of time management, on the subject of energy management, you can tackle the shit out of stuff, and it's crazy like how how possible how possible it is to do that, and how just putting the energy of efficiency and productivity first and foremost, because that changes the dynamics of everything. That changes how you approach everything that you're doing. And I just think that it's so fascinating how that works. And so now, where I'm at in my life in terms of time management, right, and energy management, investing all of that stuff in a very real way. And that's why that's why Elon Musk's quote really just kind of like stood out to me. And similarly, like just the idea that if you shoot for the moon and you land in the stars, like at least you were aimed. At least you had a trajectory that made sense for you. Um, I'm looking a lot more at time management and energy management, and specifically what it is that I want to invest my time in. When you step out of everything that you've known, everything that you've become familiar with, right? When you step out of all that stuff and you actually sit inside of oh wow, this is all my fault. And when I say that, I mean from the standpoint of you're in control. If you're looking to create something, you're in control. And it's actually interesting to me, because now I'm realizing I didn't approach things this way a while ago. I didn't. And what's interesting is that in terms of what it is that I'm creating, there's a level of overwhelm that comes with it, but it's actually I'm sitting more into the energy, and I'm realizing that the overwhelm is actually a beautiful feeling, because it's making me realize that I'm in complete control of what it is that I'm creating. Um, and because of that, putting all of the necessary energy into the pursuit is 100% crucial. So, you know, um, coming from the standpoint of, this is all on me, like, the way that I'm approaching things now, and don't get me wrong, there's still there's still comfort and familiarity and things that kind of suck me back into old ways of thinking and living and everything. But down to the second, how am I spending my time? And that's what I'm looking at right now. And I'm realizing that everything that comes with that, if it's approached properly, there will be a very specific outcome, right? So and don't get me wrong, I'm aware of downtime, but even looking at downtime, okay, so what is downtime? And is that something that I also want to approach in a different way? Similarly to how I'm approaching time management and energy management. What is downtime? Here's the thing that's really important to understand regarding everything I'm saying right now. The way that an individual is brought up, it's likely that unless that is changed, they're going to continue living that way. So if downtime to them is, relaxing and watching Netflix, right? Or, I don't know, watching videos on YouTube, whatever it is, whatever downtime is to someone, that in and of itself is going to affect their pursuit of whatever it is that they're going after. Because if instead downtime actually meant further educating themselves on behalf of the logistics regarding something that they're trying to create, you know, maybe somehow the feeling or the sense of downtime is achieved, but at the same time, they're still pursuing what it is that they want to. I'm very interested in this, actually, and for me growing up, what I have conditioned myself into is that downtime is, just relaxing and watching Netflix, or like, it used to be playing video games and stuff. But like now, like I'm looking at it and it's like, okay, no, seriously though, like down to every second, like what are you doing with your time? And it's like, oh, okay, so if you're gonna approach it that way, and if what you're trying to do is just fucking manifest like crazy, then what you've got to do is be honest with how you're spending your time. And time spent on anything other than what it is that you're trying to create is potentially not a good investment of time, So it's very interesting to kind of like look at like the grander scheme of things and look at how things were growing up in your life. Like that's what I'm looking at specifically for myself right now, and it's very interesting to see how things are shifting. Like, the way that I was 5 or 10 years ago was drastically different from the way that I am today. The way that I go about, time management, energy management, discipline, habits, morning and nighttime routine, everything is different. I don't, it took me a while to really like build discipline in terms of morning and nighttime routines, but there's this idea that if you can win the first hour of the day, you can win the entire rest of the day. And I believe that. And something on behalf of that I practice is no technology, no nothing, first hour of the day. Nothing. Nothing at all. Just being with yourself. Because when you're with yourself and there are no distractions, you get to truly face yourself. So that's something that has really like helped me out a lot. And just like, energy management is so important because, okay, well, what are you putting your energy into? Not just media and technology, but also like the people in your life. What are the people in your life like? Are they supportive? Are they not supportive? Do they believe in you? Do they not give a fuck about you? Like, it's real. It's real. And, I'm very interested in fully actualizing my potential on every single level. And, the more I look at it, the more it's like, oh wow, this is nothing but expansive. This is a space of expansiveness, and there is just plenty of actualizing to be had here. And as long as I'm patient with myself, as long as I'm, clear, as long as I have a straightforward vision on behalf of what it is that I want, and I am not bullshitting myself, and I'm consistently executing on behalf of that, there's no reason that I shouldn't manifest what it is that I'm in pursuit of. That's just the way that it is. Like, it's really interesting when you look at it from that standpoint. Here's what I'm fascinated in. What does it take to get there? And why is that not happening? Like it's that simple for me. Like, I understand that some people look at it and they're like, okay, regardless of whatever it is that it takes to get there, I'm not doing it. It's like, really? Wow, okay. And just kind of like, I don't know, I look at that kind of stuff and it's like, oh, what, you gotta learn to jump this high? Learn to jump this high. If that's what you gotta do, fucking do it. Like, by all means, relentlessly, whatever the fuck it takes. And of course, not putting anyone else's life in danger. You do not have to put anyone else's life in danger to achieve your desired outcomes. You just don't. You don't. But yeah, I'm fascinated in how all of this stuff works, and how, like, years ago, I made decisions that have radically transformed my life today. And I'm forever grateful that I have, because these dynamics of my life will be here in my life for the rest of my life. And as they continue to be here, they will continue to, brick by brick. That's just the way that it is. Like, an empire is being built, and that's just the way that it is. So yeah, I'm excited. Um, and I enjoy looking at my life and, like, down to the second. Okay, how are you investing your time? How are you investing your energy? What are you investing into? Is this absolutely necessary? Oh, okay, this is something that you've just been very comfortable with and familiar with for a long time, but is it actually necessary for your life? No. Okay, do you need it? No. Okay, get it out. Yep, that's going to cause a little bit of pain. Sacrifice the pain, sacrifice the short term for the long term, right? Delayed gratification. Um, and that's just all that, like, we are creatures of adaptation. We have the capacity to adapt, to change, and that's just, it's awesome. So, yeah.